So apparently the GOP has found its latest culture war talking point to try to compensate for the fact that they absolutely suck on policy and legislative accomplishments, and it's about as dumb as you would expect. But before we unpack all of that, if you haven't yet, please hit that like, subscribe, and the alert bell. Maybe check out my Patreon. I'd appreciate the support. So again, whether we like it or not, one of the recurring themes of this channel is that the Republican Party has forfeited. The modern iteration of the GOP has just completely abandoned any sort of semblance of being a responsible, serious governing party. I often compare them to a partner in a three-legged race where they just drop to the ground and try to hug the other person's leg. That's what they do for this country. That's what they do for the Democratic Party. It's not even like we're disagreeing or trying to run in the opposite direction. No, I think this way is better. No, I think this way is better. It's just that they're an obstructionist, defeatist party. When they're in the majority, they don't want to govern. When they're in the minority, they think that, well, because we're in the minority, it's up to the majority to govern, even though there's no basis for that constitutionally, majority or minority. You do have an obligation to help one another govern, even if there is legitimate disagreement on how best to do it. But we don't even see that from the GOP. They're more concerned about things like, is the green M&M wearing sneakers now? She used to wear heels. Is this wokeism? Is this like woke podiatry or something like that? Why isn't she wearing heels? Why is President Biden trying to steal our gas stoves? Is he like some sort of sinister Santa Claus sneaking in through our chimney, ripping out the gas stove and trying to huck it back up the chimney? All this stupid stuff. Well, they found their latest silly talking point. We're going to start with the cringiest, arguably the cringiest, sitting Republican in Congress, Ted Cruz. And he, if you haven't heard about this, I apologize, but it needs to be brought to your attention, and Ted Cruz will take it from here.
Now done that for new construction. They're trying to go after and regulate ceiling fans. I got to tell you, it's hot in Texas. We don't want to get rid of our ceiling fans. And now these idiots have come out and said, drink 2 beers a week. That's their guideline. Well, I got to tell you, if they want us to drink 2 beers a week, frankly, they can kiss my ass.
No, okay. Senator, I brought a beer to drink with you. I'll drink this non-alcoholic beer with you because I'm not allowed to drink on camera, but I'll have a sip.
Well,
oh, there's 30 more seconds. Okay, should we do it? Okay, we're going to try.
look, I got to say, have you ever seen a brand do more damage to itself than Bud Light, which single-handedly...
All right, there you go. All right, folks, I hope you did not pass out in your chair over the craziness. I was going to play some other clips, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go straight to the Newsweek article addressing the issue. So here's what happened, okay? So let's go. I'm sorry that I was unprepared just seeing it again, how ridiculous that was. So does President Biden want to limit Americans to 2 beers a week? A Fox News correspondent, Peter Doocy, of course, asked White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre on Monday. When asked to give context, and this is what Ted Cruz is talking about, Peter Doocy went on to claim that the director of the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, the NIAAA, Dr. George Koob, had said that the U.S. may follow Canada and recommend just 2 beers a week. Yes, this one expert running one agency without any enforcement whatsoever says that the United States may follow Canada and update the recommendations for how many beers is healthy to consume a day to just 2 a week. Ooh. Karine Jean-Pierre says she cannot speak to this, and we'll leave it to the experts. Okay. Now, I just want to emphasize here. Actually, let me get to what Koob said. Koob, whom Doocy mentioned, spoke to the DailyMail.com last week, who asked how U.S. alcohol guidelines could change when they're revised in 2025. So they're going to be revised in 2 years. Koob told the outlet that if alcohol consumption guidelines were to go in any direction, it would be in line with Canada's, where new guidelines published earlier this year by the Canadian Centre on Substance Use and Addiction recommend citizens limit alcoholic drinks to 2 a week. I mean, they're not going to go up, I'm pretty sure. So if alcohol consumption goes in any direction, it would be towards Canada. And again, we don't have to break down. This isn't like a science channel or anything like that. But I mean, they're making the case that basically you're less likely to be at risk of heart disease or stroke or other medical ailments if you consume just 2 beers a week. Now, the reason why this is important is because, again, there's no enforcement mechanism here. None, folks. It's not like, again, that Biden or the FBI or whoever are going to break down the door if they see you look with temptation and consider that third PBR. This is a non-issue. This is as non-issue as M&Ms wearing shoes and gas stoves and even there again the Bud Light thing. They gave a beer to a trans activist and the right wing is just up in arms. They want to secede from the union again. It's so absurd. But that's where they are. That's where Ted Cruz, who was a presidential candidate, who has been reelected multiple times as the senator for Texas, who has litigated in front of the Supreme Court, that man doing that cringe thing, stood in a suit before the Supreme Court of the United States multiple times to litigate. And now he's doing stuff like this because what else are they going to do? They certainly can't run on a record. They can't run on a robust policy agenda. It's Hunter Biden's genitalia and this. So anyway, hopefully you did not tip over in your chair due to the outburst of cringe emanating from that clip. I was going to play others, but I don't think I can handle it. I just don't think I could. But anyway, this is the latest culture war talking point. I'm sure you'll be hearing about it at least for the next 2 weeks. So brace yourselves. And when you go to drink that third beer per week, just know Joe Biden is not going to be knocking on the door.